1, 2. Check. Check sound. Sound. Check sound 1. 1, 2. Sound. Check sound 1. 1, 2. One, two, 1, 2. Sound 2, 1. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2.
Welcome, namaste, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to give you a moment to settle down. If you want to adjust your chairs so we can face to the front. Just to give you some brief information, the actual prayer should have been done at home, right? The priest would have come and have done the prayer. So this entire arrangement, booking off this hall, getting the service group, the family, and the only way we can do that is by maintaining the ambience in this arena. So let's consider this a shrine. Doesn't matter which walk of life you come from, which religion you belong to, but God is one, and you can pray to Him in your understanding through the way we are going to pray this afternoon. So a humble request to please put your cell phones on silent. If you really need to take a phone call, please leave the shrine, take your call, and come back. Also, if you need to indulge in any sort of conversation, let's try and give the late Mr. Selvaraj Pillay the dignity, the respect that he deserves. And the only way we can do that is by maintaining silence. If you know any of the songs that we are doing, please feel free to join in. If you have any kids that are a bit hyper, you can bring them to the front. We'll take care of them for you. They'll join us in the service. So we want to try and maintain the ambience, right guys? You can see I even went to the back to speak to our guy who's in charge of the hall, and they're working so well together to ensure that this function goes well. They're also going to try and maintain less silence, as much as silence and less movement as possible. So we want to do a dignified devotional program. We're all going through difficult times, whether it's health, work, petrol price increase and all that. I request that for the next hour, forget about all that. Remember your ancestors, remember where we've come from, and let's try and devote ourselves so we can have a little bit of peace in our life. As a mark of respect, could you all please rise while Praveen will start. Will help us start the prayer. Thank you. So you will see that our caterers are going to come and bring starters to you as possible. Thank you so much. Our first song, a dedication to Lord Ganesha. Lord Ganesha, the remover of all obstacles, whatever challenges you face today, whether it be health, wealth, whatever it is, may He remove those obstacles. Even if it's for the next hour, may you find some peace. Thank you.
Selva
The next song we're going to do, a song that is done in the vernacular, and I think a song that is very meaningful. When the lyricist penned the song, he didn't realize the ends of the earth it's going to reach and the different religions it's going to touch. Some Apa Pilave, simply our religion teaches us Mata, Pita, Guru, Devam. Mother, father, teacher, then God. If you still have your parents around, that's how you need to treat them. Before you respect God, you need to respect your parents. And there's no other way, your father, your teacher, then only God. So if you have no respect for your parents, you're failing. That has to start. And we need to teach our children from small that I can turn to no matter what it is. Although we give our worries and sorrows to our mother, and in those traditional ways it was a father that's working, but now both our parents are working and sometimes you can't find either one. But no matter what it is and whatever we go through, remember your parents, as strict as they are, they will be the ones that are standing there beside you to encounter and challenge. It brings out the lion in them, it brings out the elephant in them when it comes to calmness. So remember that. Do not stray away from that. They say that the earth revolves by the dance of Lord Shiva in the form of Lord Nadaraja. Lord Nadaraja creates a cosmic energy that allows the earth to turn. And sometimes if you observe the Mahashivaratri, you see the different forms, the different sessions that we go through. And if Lord Nadaraja had to stop that dance, everything comes to a standstill. The next song, Om Shiva Om, calls out the different names of Lord Namah Shivaya, and this part of the prayer, after the 1 year we sing, Dad, we surrender you to Lord Namah Shivaya and may you enter the abode. And that way Mr. Selvaraj Pillay is right now.
Hare 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 Hare
परशुहस्त नमः ॐ शिवोऽहम् ॐ शिवोऽहम् रुद्रनामं भजेऽहं भजेऽहम् ॐ शिवोऽहम् ॐ शिवोऽहम् रुद्रनामं भजेऽहं भजेऽहम् सत्य प्रभाव दिव्य प्रकाश मंत्र स्वरूप इष्ट निज पूर्ण बोध हम सत्य कर्मागतित्य प्रमोद स्वप्न कसोग हम सच्चित प्रमाण हो मूल प्रमेय हो अयं ब्रह्मस्मि अहं ब्रह्मस्मि गण 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 सात्विक सत्य विरहि रम 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 रुम 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 विम रम रुम विरहि ॐ शिवोऽहम् ॐ शिवोऽहम् रुद्रनामं भजेऽहं भजेऽहम् ॐ शिवोऽहम् ॐ शिवोऽहम् रुद्रनामं भजेऽहं भजेऽहम् वीरभद्राय अग्निनेत्राय घोरसंहाराय सकललोकाय सर्वभूताय सत्य साक्षात्काराय शम्भो शम्भो शङ्कर ॐ शिवोऽहम् ॐ शिवोऽहम् रुद्रनामं भजेऽहं भजेऽहम्
தேவன் கோவல் மணி ஓசை நல் செய்திகள் சொல்லும் மணி ஓசை தேவன் கோவல் மணி ஓசை நல்ல செய்திகள் சொல்லும் மணி ஓசை பாவிகள் மீதும் அண்டவம் காட்டும் பாவிகள் மீதும் அண்டவம் காட்டும் ஓசைகள் ஓசை மணி ஓசை தேவன் Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for maintaining the ambience in this afternoon's prayer. For our late Mr. Selvaraj Pillay, we're now going to move on to the second part where we have a few tributes, and then we're going to move over to Divartani. I'd like to call upon our first speaker, which is Raymond, who's going to speak on behalf of Praveen.
Good afternoon, everyone. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be saying a few words. This is Praveen's speech, but due to emotional functions, he asked me to read it for him. So I'm going to read it because he only gave it to me like an hour or so ago. Right? When I consider my experiences and memories of my father, innumerable memorable events come to mind. How do I condense over 40 years of love into a few words? How do I do justice to the life of a man who was my mentor, teacher, critic, friend, and confidant in a few minutes? How do I pay such tribute to a man who not only gave me life, but a good education, sound values, firm principles, a proud identity, and a formula for success in life, whilst overcoming my own grief? How do I represent my own memories? One thing everyone who had the pleasure of knowing my dad can agree on is that he was a very opinionated man, to put it politely. He voiced his opinion very regularly, and a quality I also inherited from him. However, the element with my dad that I don't think anybody could argue is, if he had a point, there was a logic behind what he was saying. You couldn't fight. There's no way of going against it. It was that he might be unwittingly on his part, just might have been doing this thing to me, but really imparted. The stories of his work ethic were legendary. My dad exemplified the epitome of honesty after his doctor's appointment. My father led by example. He was a tough teacher, a bit intimidatingly a man who helped generations of young people find their own paths in their life. It was only through the natural course of time that he strayed. I now see his wisdom, humor, and devotion to his craft with a clarity not only through my eyes, but through the words of his friends, colleagues, and others who have been professionally encountered with him. There's not a day that goes by that I don't miss or think of you. Till date, I still count weeks that you left me, but I hope that you know, undoubtedly, more than anything in this world, I am most proud to be called your son. I consider it a privilege and an honor, not only just to be known as Praveen, but to be known as your son. I hope you know now that I love you and that I miss you more than anything in this world. I know you're in heaven looking down upon me and guiding me through my daily life. I will keep the strong legacy of
Today, Vasu.
I've never met someone as equally impressive, smart, and grounded as him. I've known Selva since 1982. He was a strategic thinker, a visionary, brilliant, innovative, and resourceful to say the least. As such, he went on to venturing his own entity, namely KZ Amateur Winders, whereby I joined the team in the year 2000. He generously gave us his knowledge, his expertise, and skills. Selva led his staff in such a way that he exemplified leadership. He gave energy, commitment, and inspiration to his staff. It is not that common to have individuals who share our intellect, interests, and life in general, but Selva did just that. While we were originally brought together for work purposes, I soon began to learn from his views and perspectives, and his wealth of knowledge. That will always be the fundamentals for my understanding of the world. Over the years, we all watched in awe as he excelled in his career as an amateur winder and entrepreneur. He was well deserving of all the success that he received, and he was undeniably the best at his trade. I think it's fair to say that the world has lost a loving father, a doting husband, and one hell of a boss. I know I speak for the entire staff complement at KZ when I say that Selva is delirious. Though my words are not enough to appreciate all the hard work you have done for, I will always remember you when I sincerely raise my hands to pray. I hope that everyone, when such people cross their paths, never take people like Selva for granted. I certainly never did and never will.
Our final tribute will be done by Neil.
Good afternoon, friends and family. Continuing from where the tributes that were paid by the previous speakers, the tribute that I will be starting with is a tribute from Uncle Selva's wife. To my dearest Selva, my life began with you 49 years ago, and I was blessed to have 3 lovely children with you. We spent our time filled with adventure and happiness. You opened doors to your business, KZ Amateur, which is still running successfully by your 2 sons and your lifelong friend, Rajan. Work with the values and the hard-working ethics that Uncle Selva taught you, and the business will grow. And friends, and always spoils us with holidays and extravagant shopping sprees, with your grandchildren will always remember. And each one of their words are always, Ma, I miss Bawa. I will forever cherish our memories on the Queen Mary cruise with you, and I miss you and I love you dearly. And I think all family and friends that are here today with us, God bless you and safe travels. The second tribute is by his second son, Dinesh. If you're fortunate enough to be here with your dad, hug him. Tell him you love him. I wish I could. I love you, Baba, and I miss you every day. I don't think he knew how much he and our relationship meant to me. Let me just say, it meant the world to me. I admired my Baba on so many levels. As a father, he guided me down the righteous path, not only showing me the way, but living it as well. If I needed to learn kindness, I just needed to watch my Baba. If I needed to learn patience, I just needed to watch my Baba. If I needed to learn loving, I just needed to watch my Baba. If I wanted to know the right thing to do, I only had to see my Baba's life and the way he lived it. My Baba taught me so many great qualities. He taught me all of us and anybody who encountered him would always see that there was good still left in the world because of him. I could talk about my Baba without talking about that which he lived for most of his family and friends. He'd want us to be strong, do what makes us happy, to stick together and have each other's back. And he'd want us to go forward and live life and achieve all things that we know that we can achieve. We love and miss you, Baba. That was a tribute from Dinesh. This gathering is not meant to be a sad one, because we are here to pay tribute to a man who loved living life. I'm sure everyone here, if you were given the opportunity of coming forward, you'll have a story to say about Uncle Selva. But since I have that opportunity, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Uncle Selva that I knew. I was less than 10 years old. It was a Friday afternoon. Uncle Selva pulls in to 229 with his beautiful shiny yellow Cortina. Everyone, all the boys particularly, gathered around the car and the fun began. It lasted late into the night, just to find later that afternoon Uncle Selva coming to me and telling me, Neil, would you like to come to Tongaat? Excited? Said yes. Little did I realize that that would be my first driving experience. Because en route to Tongaat, he would put me on his knee and he'll tell me, steer. And I would steer all the way to Tongaat, not realizing that he was quite drunk and needed a sober driver. But nevertheless, as you can see, we got there. I was in standard 5, or maybe standard 6 at the time. Uncle Selva would leave a message at my granny's house. Could you please wash my Cressida, which normally used to be parked in his mother-in-law's garage. So, very excitedly, go down, nice cars. Uncle Selva is known for driving the most beautiful cars. Go down and wash the car. And whilst being there, I would receive a call, or Auntie Roshni would receive the call. Just tell Neil to please take what's there in the console. Normally a rand or a rand 50, but I would have done it for nothing. But getting paid to wash nice cars when you're young, exciting. And I took it with both hands and I was quite excited about that. When I was around I would think about 16, Uncle Selva at the time was working for some amateur company, I think it was in Pinetown. It was school holidays and Uncle Selva told me, would you like a holiday job? I said, okay, fine. And he would take me over to this company, I think he probably managed it at the time, and gave me an opportunity to start work. This was the first opportunity that I had of being in a work environment. Although all it meant was going there and washing parts, but to get paid a salary at the age of 13 and 14 and 15 years old, it awakens you. I get so excited about talking about, because these were the issues that made me a man, and the man that I am today. When I was around about 18 years old, Uncle Selva invited a friend and myself, Neville. He said, "Where?" He said, "No, we're going to the Palladium." Now, for those of you that are here would know what I'm talking about, the Palladium was a nightclub in Sipingo at the time. Top nightclub. So excited. 16 years old, driving in a fancy car going to the Palladium. We get there, and we're in the Palladium. Salva meets some of his workmates, and as usual, if you know Salva, the party begins. Little did I realize, thinking that I'm already so excited about being here, this was my first trip to the Palladium, that the night was going to get better. The music starts. Who do you think is the first man on the dance floor? It's Uncle Selva. And he's on the dance floor for hours. And at that point I realized this man loves to dance. So when I think back to the Uncle Selva, these are the memories I have, special memories that have created the man that I am today. So, when I look back at life, and the life of Uncle Selva, I paid tribute to an uncle that opened my eyes to the real world. To know that somebody cared about you specifically and gave you the opportunities to make you feel special. I will honor him, remember him, and respect him for all the days of my life. Thank you.
Special thanks to all our speakers for those tributes, and I think our last speaker hit the nail on the head. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look at the amount of losses we've got in the last 2 years, we realize that we need to live and we need to enjoy our lives, and we need to celebrate those that lived and left those special legacies for us. So I can see Mr. Selva has touched a lot of people and stuff is done. His legacy is going to live through a lot of us. We're now going to move on to the conclusion of our prayer, which is the Vartani. Our young man Praveen is going to start off the Arati, and then the immediate family will follow. Like I said in the beginning, it doesn't matter which walk of life you come from, because God is one. We do have petals in the front. If you feel like coming and just turning the petals and offering, you're actually just giving respect to the late Mr. Selva. So it doesn't matter which religion you come from and you want to do that. Our only humble request is when you do come to the front, please remove your shoes. We're not asking you to remove your shoes because it's made out of leather, and Sami said, don't come next to me because you have leather. We need you to teach our children that that's not the fact. Because our tablas here is made out of animal skin. Right? We need to keep religion as simple and easy as possible, so when our children are in China, in Hong Kong and Russia, they can look at a stone and pray through that medium and say, yes, God. Because that's the beauty of our religion. We don't have 1,000 gods. We have one God, but Uncle Selva, we know him as Selva. Rajan knew him as a different name and different name and different name, but it was all one person. We have the beauty of the third eye, which is the mind, and we can see God in any form, any structure, any point, any way in the world. And that's what we need to take with us and teach our kids. Don't be afraid if you don't light a God lamp in China, because That's you restricting yourself, you can't pray. You can pray to God in any form. That's why we have the lingam. Muslims actually pray through the lingam. So we need to remember that, guys. Keep it simple, but keep it effective. And you don't need all the fancy stuff for that. So please, like I said, when you remove your shoes, you're conditioning your body that, you know what? Generally, there are shoes which sample a lot of dirt, a lot of grime. So you're taking off your shoes and you condition your body of saying, you know what? I'm going to surrender myself to God. I'm removing the negative energy and I'm going to receive some positive energy from divine Lord of your understanding. I call upon Praveen, who's going to start off the arati. And everyone that wants to take part, please come in a nice formal manner and let us help us conclude. Thank you. Om Namah Shivaya. Tiruchitrambalam. Mandire Namah Shivaya Malai. Naan Sitvreke. Bandave Tudakkamurthikai. Hari Hari Ayinam Naram Amaram Munivar Tamam Muri Muri Manandayadam Mudalvake Namah Shivaya Mudalvake Namah Shivaya Mudalvake Namah Shivaya Mudalvake Namah Shivaya Thank you. तिरुपति वेंकटेश्वरा देवा नानिरिक्कुम मीरे वेंकटरमण गोविंदा 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 हरि गोविंदा हरि गोविंदा हरि गोविंदा हरि गोविंदा
Meet
வருவதையாவும் உட்படுவாரே வந்தத்தையாவும் உட்படுவாரே வருவதையாவும் உட்படுவாரே வந்தத்தையாவும் உட்படுவாரே குருவாக வந்த கொடை வள்ளலாகே குருவாக வந்த கொடை வள்ளலாகே கொடுத்தருளே வேண்டும் பேரருளாகே கொடுத்தருளே வேண்டும் பேரருளாகே தேடிருக்க வீரத்தில் பாடுகிறே திருப்பதி வெங்கடேஸ்வரா தேவா நாளிற்கு வீரத்தில் நீருக்கு வேண்டும் நாராயணா உடனேரா தேடிருக்க வீரத்தில் பாடுகிறே திருப்பதி வெங்கடேஸ்வரா தேவா நாளிற்கு வீரத்தில் நீருக்கு வேண்டும் நாராயணா உடனேரா ஹரி நாராயணா உடனேரா ஹரி நாராயணா உடனேரா ஹரி பாப்பாவே அப்பா அடியே சொல்படி கேளப்பா இப்போதும் இனி எப்போதும் நீ காவலை எமக்கு கண்டப்பா அப்பா அப்பாவே அப்பா அடியே சொல்படி கேளப்பா இப்போதும் இனி எப்போதும் நீ காவலை எமக்கு கண்டப்பா அப்பா அப்பாவே அப்பா அடியே சொல்படி கேள சொல்வது சேரப்பா Ladies and gentlemen, could you all please rise and help us conclude? Humble request for the immediate family to come to the front to the last part of the prayer. You're going to turn right till the end of the prayer. So the immediate family can come to the last part. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may be seated. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you on behalf of the Pillay family for attending the one-year memorial prayer for late Mr. Selvaraj Pillay, Selva. Thank you for maintaining the ambience and keeping the divinity strong in this shrine. Please do not leave without partaking in any refreshments and lunch or early supper that has been provided for you. We are going to do our dedication, a song that I think fits, especially the tributes that has come and the song Memories.
Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here. bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories. And the memories bring back you. There's a time that I remember when I did not know no pain. When I believed in forever and everything would stay the same. Now my heart feel like December when somebody say your name. Cause I can't reach out to call you, but I know I will one day. Everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday. But everything will be alright. Go and raise a glass and say, hey, here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories. The memories bring back you. Do 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 do. Memories bring back you. There's a time that I remember when I never felt so lost. When I felt all of the hatred was too powerful to stop. Now my heart feel like an ember, and it's lighting up the dark. I carry these torches for you, but you know I'll never drop. Yeah. Everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday. But everything will be alright. Go and raise a glass and say, hey, here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories. And the memories bring back you. Memories bring back you. Yeah, memories bring back you.
Ladies and gentlemen,